Morning everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm doing great because I'm finally able to record this video. I thought I was gonna do it yesterday and then I forgot that I had a swim meet which took up the whole afternoon. But whatever, we're here now and I am very excited to make this video. Because for those of you who have been living under a rock recently, we finally got news from Phil Spencer about what Xbox's strategy is gonna be going forwards. And while there are definitely things left to be desired from the podcast they posted recently, at least we finally have an answer to the question everybody's been wondering for the last like 2 weeks. Is Starfield going to go to PlayStation? And the answer is no, not yet. Xbox confirmed in the podcast that they will be bringing 4 games over to PlayStation and the Switch, or maybe some will just be to the PlayStation because some of them the Switch probably won't be able to run. But either way, 4 games are going to other consoles and we don't know which ones they are yet, which, you know, I wish they would have told us, but what can you do? But the internet seems to agree that the games are going to be Sea of Thieves, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, and Grounded. And upon hearing that Starfield and Indiana Jones are not going to come over to PlayStation yet, we'll get into that in a little bit, PlayStation fanboys such as MBG lost their minds, which is what we're going to be taking a look at today, because MBG had a bit of a breakdown on stream. Like, instead of sweat coming out of his pores, it was salt. Now, really quickly, before we get into this, I just want to do a shameless plug real quick. We watched all of these clips that I'm about to show and more live, and it was an absolute blast. We had like 130 people watching concurrently at one point, and we had a great time even if we were losing our minds from how stupid all of this was. So yeah, if you'd like to join the streams, they're every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, and you should definitely check them out because they're a ton of fun. But anyway, with that little plug out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into this.
When we originally had planned for the show, starting back in December, I think we probably would have started with Activision Blizzard, maybe talked a little bit about the exclusivity with some of the news coming up, and then hardware. But
Now, I know he didn't say anything in that clip, but I just wanted to play it to show you just how confident and how smug he is. He was so sure that Xbox was going to announce they were going full third party, like bring all their games to PlayStation, and probably that they were going to stop making consoles as well. And God, it's just so satisfying seeing the face he's making right here, knowing what happens over the next few minutes. Like, all I'm saying, MBG, is you have a terrible poker face. But hey, I'm not complaining. It makes this reaction all the funnier.
Just 4 games.
Just 4.
Not a change to our kind of fundamental exclusive strategy. It is, we're making these decisions for some specific reasons. We make every decision really with the long-term health of Xbox in mind.
No, there's no.
And long-term health of Xbox means a growing platform.
I love it. He says, oh, we're bringing 4 games over. And he's like, oh, yeah, they're doing it. They're going full third party. And you know he thought 2 of the games were going to be Indiana Jones and Starfield. Just, again, that smug look on his face. The, you know, the crap-eating grin. I'm not going to say the other word. But, God, just the smug levels are off the chart with this dude. And just you wait, because it's about to get shut down. And, oh, boy, do I have an edit for it.
Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Well, what was the criteria and how the team was thinking about selecting those 4 titles?
Let me start a little bit outside of that, and then I'll get to
this.
the
Dude,
4
this is
games that we're talking
ridiculous.
about right now.
You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now.
Oh, this is gonna be a classic, ladies and gentlemen. The sheer disappointment on his face once he hears it's not Starfield and Indiana Jones is just magical. And the fact that he immediately follows it up by saying this is ridiculous just makes it even better. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, that wasn't a very extreme reaction or anything. And you're right, but don't worry, we're getting to that. Think of this as the calm before the storm. Luckily, this next clip is where the cope truly starts. Why don't we take a look at that?
Or just other games like that.
This is like, dude, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be, bro.
Incorrect. Say it with me, everybody. Receipts, because I've got them. Anybody ever been to a CVS and you get a receipt there and it's like taller than you? I may not have a receipt that long, but I do have receipts nonetheless. So, MBG, you claim this is exactly what you thought it would be. Why don't we pull up your Twitter and see if that's true? Oh, well, what's this we have here?
And what is this?
Those are pickled banana peppers.
And what is this?
They're using seeds.
And perhaps what is this?
Water.
By the way, can I just take this time to say, how is DJ Khaled a real human? He feels like an AI, but whatever, that's completely irrelevant. You claim this is exactly what you thought it was gonna be. Oh, just 4 games going over. None of them are Starfield or Indiana Jones. Yet that tweet I just showed is you talking about how you think it sounds like Xbox is going third party. Like fully third party, including Starfield and Indiana Jones. And what's extra funny to me is the fact that throughout this he says that, oh, Phil's damage controlling. And you can think that if you want to. It's just funny that he's calling out Phil for damage controlling when he is now damage controlling what he previously said on Twitter by now saying, oh, this is exactly what I thought it was gonna be. No, dude, you thought they were gonna say they were going full third party. Or at the very least, Indiana Jones and Starfield would be going over. So please, just drop this, oh, I knew it, this is exactly what I thought. We all know it's not true. And hey, you know what? I bet some of you guys are like, okay, when does the breakdown start? Well, here we go. This next clip is the beginning of the end. Let's do this thing.
4 games, no promise beyond that. So if you're on those other platforms and you see these 4 games coming, please don't take it as some sick.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Like, you are, I gotta pause this shit. Are you fucking kidding me? This man's really gonna fucking come out here and say, guys, we're taking just 4. Count them 4, just 4. And we're putting them on rival consoles. But don't you dare think that we're doing this again. Dude, shut the fuck up. This is dude, I don't even need to watch this shit.
Well, I guess he is correct in the sense of the only real big announcement or important thing that they said past the 6-minute mark is that Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass. So, yes, in that regard, you're right, dude. You don't need to watch the rest of it. But putting that aside, dude, calm down. Like, we all know you're mad that Xbox isn't going full third party yet and they're still gonna be making consoles. But just calm down, for the love of God. Want to know why Phil is saying don't take this as a sign? Because he doesn't want people to wrongly set their expectations. I think it's pretty obvious how this is gonna go. They're gonna put these 4 games, whatever they are, on PlayStation and the Switch, and if they do well, they'll probably consider porting more games in the future, and if they don't do well, they probably won't. Therefore, Phil is telling people don't set their expectations too high, and don't automatically assume this means everything else is coming over, because he probably doesn't even know if everything else is coming over yet. Like, he didn't even deny the possibility that the other games would come over. He just said, oh, there's no guarantee right now. And you are still this mad about it. Like, this is the exact same way I felt about the rumors. People just need to chill. It is not worth getting this upset over an Xbox podcast unless they announced that they were gonna stop doing consoles and delete everybody's digital libraries or something. You know what? Everybody just join me in taking a deep breath. Just in and out. Okay, are we all calm? Well, I'm glad you are because the clips keep getting angrier from here. Let's keep going.
I made it clear, and I am maintaining the stance because if you... I'm just gonna give it to you straight. If you just bought that marketing PR spin bullshit, you're a fucking idiot. You hear me? Like, if you now are going to go on the internet and say, LOL, just 4 games, hold that L, you're a fucking idiot. And you are once again getting on your hands and knees.
First of all, I'd just like to point out the irony in MBG making fun of others for getting on their hands and knees for a company. But putting that aside, I like half agree with this. Because if you truly do think it's a W that only 4 games are going, if the games end up selling well on PlayStation and Switch, then just be prepared to catch an L. Because they will absolutely bring more games over to PlayStation and Switch if they sell well enough. Plus, it's just kind of pathetic to celebrate that people only get a few games and not all of them. You know, I think it would be dope if every Xbox game went to PlayStation and Switch, but I'm sure that's gonna be a nuclear take. But here's the other thing, and we'll talk about this more a bit later, because he's gonna bring it up, but he's saying if you bought that PRBS, you're an idiot. I agree that buying into PRBS is idiotic, but obviously you're referring to the fact that they said, oh, only 4 games for now, and there's no guarantee later. Like, that's not a lie. It's called tempering expectations, which is important to do, because you don't want people to hype themselves up just to be disappointed later. That's kind of what just happened with these rumors. People were hyping up the idea of Starfield and Indiana Jones going to PlayStation, and now we found out that at least for now it's not true, and now people like you are upset about it and having breakdowns because you bought into rumors which essentially said that the Xbox console was going to die because you just hate the company that much. Do you see how setting crazy expectations and buying into false hype could be a problem, and why Phil might potentially want to avoid that again in the future? What am I saying? No, of course you don't. Whatever, let's just continue.
Xbox titles that were never meant to come to PlayStation 5 or Nintendo Switch are coming to PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. Phil sits there, he says this to you, and he says, but don't think that we're bringing more. What about Starfield? What about Indiana Jones? No, we're not. Not yet. Don't think that this is just, like, what the fuck? How dumb? And dude, I'm serious when I say this. How fucking dumb do you have to be to have a company come out and tell you, we're just taking these ones, just these 4 over here, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't think anything of it, okay? Shh.
Am I missing something here? What is the problem? They came out and they said, we're taking these 4 games, we're putting them on other consoles, but this doesn't guarantee we're gonna put other games on these consoles in the future. Like I just said, that sounds to me like they're gonna see how the first 4 games do, and then maybe put more games on the consoles later if they do well. Like, they didn't say, oh, well, you know, these 4 games, they're going, but Starfield and Indiana Jones will never go. Like, that's what you're acting like, but that's not what he said. If he did say, oh, well, these first 4 games are coming, but no, Starfield would never come over, there's no chance of that, that would be damage control, and that would be foolish to believe. But again, that's not what happened. Like, I don't know why this is so hard to understand. It's almost like he's having his own Harmon Smith moment, where he's making up a situation in his mind, and then responding to it in a video or a stream in this case. Like, you know in TV shows or cartoons or whatever, when they have a character speaking, and then it shows the POV of the character they're talking to, and the POV of the character is hearing something completely different. Like, that's what it feels like is going on here, because Phil said there's no guarantee, and now MBG is acting like he said, oh, well, it's never gonna happen. I'm not gonna play the clip because I'll probably get copyrighted, but MBG, you really need to snap back to reality.
They just sat there and they talked to their fan base about growth. We want to grow. Guys, don't you understand? The industry is unhealthy right now. We're going to make it healthy. Are you kidding me? Like, who's going to buy this shit? You just bought Activision Blizzard and laid off nearly 2,000 people, and you're going to sit here and talk to us about you're going to grow the industry? Go fuck yourselves.
Okay, now you're just putting words in Phil's mouth. I know exactly which clip he's referencing, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Now, it's a bit long, so I'm gonna play it at 2 times speed, but I just watched it through. It's completely legible, and I'll give a quick summary at the end anyway.
But if we don't get to growing as an industry, the industry will struggle. And today there's really 2 choices on how do you grow the industry. Do you say I have a fixed number of players, the players that we have today, and do I find new ways to monetize those players to get more money from the players that I have? Or do you think about how do I expand the business I have by finding new players and adding those to the base of players that already play? Our focus on Xbox for the last decade has really been on that latter point of how do we make sure Xbox is growing for our players, growing for our creators, so those people are finding success on our platform, which will grow the Xbox business and put Xbox in a position to be very strong for years and decades to come.
The summary of that clip is basically this. Phil said that if the industry doesn't grow, it will struggle. And a good way to grow the industry is to put your games on more platforms. He then talked about how their focus for the last 10 years has been growing the Xbox brand so it can continue to stick around for the next few decades. Phil mentioned how the industry needs to grow to stay healthy, but he did not say once they were trying to grow the industry, and one of the ways was by buying Activision. He said they're trying to grow the Xbox brand, and guess what? When you buy a publisher like Activision, your brand suddenly gets much bigger. Now we're to the point where you're just putting words in his mouth. You said, "Are you kidding me?" to Phil, and now I must say the same thing to you. Then again, I guess this is what copium does to the brain. He was caught so off guard by the fact that Indiana Jones and Starfield aren't coming over yet, that he's either completely misinterpreted what Phil said, or he's intentionally trying to make up what he said. Either way, think MBG. And yes, I did do the arm movements where he pointed at his head. God, I'm a nerd. All right, anyway, continuing on.
You would think they would learn by now. Like, you would think by now they would realize that Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, Sarah Bond, these high-end business executives for a multi-trillion-dollar company are lying to you. In fact, today they didn't even lie. Here's 4 games. Oh, I'm not going to announce which titles. I'm not going to say which ones. Are you fucking kidding me?
Again, I feel like I should be asking you this question. First of all, wow, the CEO of a billion or trillion-dollar company might be lying to me?
You don't say. You don't say. You don't say.
But then you immediately said that they didn't even lie. So what is the why do you have a problem with this? What is the point you are trying to make? I am so confused right now. So you go on this whole rant about how Phil is damage controlling and lying, and then you say that they didn't even lie. What is happening in this live stream? You said at the end of the clip, are you kidding me? I am feeling the exact same way. How do you talk about how these executives are lying to us and then immediately after say they didn't lie? So are you mad that you were told the truth? I mean, that would actually kind of make sense. You probably want a reason to hate Xbox, and if they don't lie to you, then that's one less reason you have. Regardless, it's idiotic either way. And may I just say that deep breath I took earlier is not helping me right now.
At least starting with 4. Oh, wait, hold on. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Phil told me. It's okay. Phil told me don't expect any more. We're not getting any more. I mean, Phil told me a lot of shit over the past fucking 10 years. But I'm sure he's not lying. I'm sure he's telling me the truth.
You just said that he wasn't what is happening? So you started by saying he's lying, then immediately you said, oh no, he actually didn't lie. Now you're saying he's lying again. Which one is it? Oh my god. Just for reference, I'm recording this on Sunday. The live stream was on Friday. I actually, in this amount of time, slightly forgot how idiotic this was. I didn't think it was this bad. And now I remember, and now I'm sad and I hate it. Luckily though, my mom just sent me some Girl Scout cookies, so I think I'll have some of those. We got some Thin Mints today. If you would like me to send one, please be sure to call 800-588-2300-EMPIRE
today.
And they want to try to make sure that everybody is okay. And it's like, listen, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing here. Like, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. It's just, I'm so over the PR bullshit.
Okay, look, I agree. I am over this PR crap as well. But, oh my god, dude, I am gonna lose it in a second. So now there's nothing wrong with what they're doing here. I swear to god, I'm not taking these clips out of context or anything. I swear I'm not. If you want proof, just go back and look at his stream. Obviously, there's jumps in time, but there's no, like, important context needed to understand these clips. Besides, obviously, the podcast itself. But dude, oh my god. So now there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. Are you actually kidding me? So we went from they're lying to they're not lying to they're lying again to now there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. Then why do you have a problem if there's nothing wrong with what they're doing? Thank God we're on the last clip because I might actually lose it soon. And the worst part is I know in the coming days you guys are gonna want me to make a video on JTech as well. Oh my god. All right, here we go. Last clip. Let's get this over with.
Mike Brown, you're saying you sound hurt because you're not right, bro. What am I not right about? I just need to know. Like, what am I not right about? So, well, let me get this straight, Mike. Let me get this straight. You walked away from that. He's the guy. Dude, he's the one. He thinks this was a win, bro. Oh, my God.
You know, as time goes on, I start to realize that the G in MBG probably stands for gaslight or gaslighter or something like that. There is no way this guy already forgot about those tweets he made about how he thought Xbox was gonna go third party. Like, dude, you made tweets saying you thought Xbox was gonna go full third party, and you included screenshots of Starfield and Indiana Jones, and now you're trying to say you weren't wrong about anything. This is getting bad. We're to the point where I can't even tell if ponies are being stupid stupid or if they're intentionally ignoring what they've done in the past. Either way, we did it. We made it through the final clip, thank God. It's kind of funny, this video actually started off pretty tame with the clips, but then rapidly descended into absolute chaos. And I know I was acting upset earlier, but I legitimately did have a great time making this one. The only thing I'm truly upset about is that I couldn't get it out yesterday. But hey, real life takes priority, what can I say? Either way, that's gonna do it for this video. Today we learned that Phil Spencer is lying to us, but he actually wasn't lying to us. Except double plot twist, he was actually lying to us. Except triple plot twist, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing at all. I don't know, man. I'm confused. I'm gonna go do some laundry and finish up my physics lab. But really quickly before I do, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more. Be sure to check out our streams every Friday at 9 p.m. Again, I would love to see you there, and I will catch you all next time.